So it's come to this, fighting our battles again. Shot a bullet at me, yeah. I've learned to take them, 'cause all your late night bruising. Next day there's excuses, oh you're out of your mind. Now so am I. Baby, I'm damaged parts, got a few cracks. I have been torn apart. I know you know that. Now I've got a damaged heart. It's had some time for that. Let it go and let it be, 'cause you can't love me. We're both damaged parts. Lately I've been missing the person that I knew. He's been reminiscing with an empty bottle or two, 'cause all your late night bruising. Next day there's excuses, oh you're out of your mind. Now so am I. Baby, I'm damaged parts, got a few cracks. I have been torn apart. I know you know that. Now I've got a damaged heart. It's had some time for that. Let it go and let it be, 'cause you can't love me. We're both damaged parts. Oh, you take the best of me, and I'm more gone than I'll ever be. Now I wish you'd grow up, get it together, 'cause it's now or never. If you wanna know me, baby, I'm damaged parts, got a few cracks. I have been torn apart. I know you know that. Now I've got a damaged heart. It's had some time for that. Let it go and let it be, 'cause you can't love me. We're both damaged parts. So let it go and let it be, 'cause you can't love me. We're both damaged parts.
That was Natalie Dean with Damaged Parts. Of course, you know what that means. BSing with Big Nate, joined today by Natalie Dean. Real easy. Hi, Natalie. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me.
So let's talk about that song. I'm a big fan. It got sent over to me, and I just kind of fell in love with the tone. But I want to ask you on your perspective on it. What's that song about?
So it's so hard, honestly, being a songwriter and wanting to put your life on a page and not explicitly say what it's about. It is a tribute to my dad. Dad, if you're listening, I'm sorry, but he has struggled with alcohol addiction for my whole childhood. So the song is basically a reflection on that, and I just turned 18, so I'm kind of in a weird period where I'm moving into adulthood and kind of reflecting, honestly. So my parents got divorced for that reason, and I've always kind of had a weird relationship with him. It's that type of thing where you love him, he's your dad, but you don't always understand, you know, the mentality behind his actions, or, you know. So it kind of talks about the fragile relationship between a child and a parent, when that parent isn't exactly what you hoped for, what you see as a role model all the time. So the title is Damaged Parts. So we're both hurt in this relationship, but we're trying to understand each other and, just see through each other's eyes. So that's my take on the song. It's honestly very raw, it's very vulnerable, but I just wanted to connect with people because I know so many people are in the same boat and going through a similar situation with whether that's addiction, mental illness, anything like that. So it is kind of a tough topic, but I thought it had to be said.
Yeah, I think it's important. I think it there's a lot of meaning, and in 2020, it's been a rough year for a lot of people. Mental health is not necessarily at the on the front burner of the oven, as it were. So I think it's important. Was it? I want to ask, like, obviously you're getting those thoughts out there, and it's like you said, raw. Did you find it a cathartic experience, maybe a little therapeutic?
Totally. It's weird because I feel like now it's almost, I guess the word is trendy to be sad and write about sad songs. It's all over the internet. People on TikTok are pouring their heart out and writing these super raw, depressing songs. And finally, everyone's like, oh my gosh, thank you. Yeah, I feel the same way. So yeah, it's definitely cathartic to just be like, put word vomit on the page and just write your heart. So yeah.
So I also want to ask, because obviously there's a lot of impact to you personally. What's the writing process for a song like that? Like,
oh gosh, see, that type of song comes so easy because I'm not trying to put myself in someone else's shoes or visualize this story and paint a picture to myself before I can even write it. Like, it is my life. So one day I just sat down at my keyboard. I'm like, all right, I'm super upset right now. Like, I'm mad. I have all these, emotions in my head right now. What am I going to do? I'm going to write a song. So that one just came super easy. I just banged it out, honestly. It's a super simple melody, but that's just, there's not a complex answer for that. It just kind of came. Other songs are different. Obviously, I'll spend hours working. Like, I can't write a happy song to save my life. It's just so hard. Like a happy pop, bubblegum, good feeling song. I don't know how to do it. I really don't.
There is not a thing wrong with that. I think to a certain degree, while there is a market for it, that's some of the most insincere sometimes.
Yeah.
Because if you're writing from the heart, I think there's a lot of power behind that. Of course, I'm sitting here wearing a Joy Division t-shirt, so I don't think I should be discussing happy poppy songs necessarily, but I think there's a lot of power to what you've got going on here. And I want to ask, how did you get your start? How did you start, writing songs, playing music?
Yeah, so I've always loved singing. So when I was about 10 or 11, my mom said, hey, you know what? I'm putting you in voice lessons, whether you like it or not. I was a super shy, pretty awkward kid, and I just didn't like talking at all. Like, I just wouldn't speak. I'd be in the corner, like, all alone. So I'm like, okay, fine. I love this. I know that this will be like my happy place. So, and that was like instead of therapy. Again, my childhood was a little rocky, but instead of therapy, I'm like, okay, I'll go to voice lessons. So I did that. And over the course of a few years, I'm like, okay, I really want to write my own songs. I'm tired of looking up on YouTube songs to sing or, just going on the radio and being, okay, this is top 40, but I don't like anything on top 40 right now. So, my first songs were awful. I still write terrible songs, but I found it, like you said, super cathartic to just write, and I'm like, okay, this is mine, my little piece of, myself that I can actually, separate from my head. So really it all started when my mom got me my keyboard and I could actually hear a melody and I wasn't totally all over the place in my head. So that really kickstarted it. But I mean, I've always looked up to great songwriters. Billy Joel is my absolute favorite. Elton John, like I grew up listening to 70s, 80s rock, Queen, like those were the guys that, like, my founding fathers of music, I like to say. So, I mean, that's what I grew up listening to. So, of course, I'm inspired by those great artists. So, I just want to be like that, honestly.
No, I mean those are lofty goals, but it's good to have goals and aspirations like that. So Damaged Parts is out now. What's next?
So right now I'm actually working on an extended EP here in the Bay Area. I have a really great producer I just hooked up with. His name's Troy Luqueta. And I mean, we're just in the studio every day vibing. And I mean, I've never had that experience. Usually I'm in a pretty sterile studio. You book your time. You've got 2 to 3 hours. Okay, go. I mean, now we're just in his home studio, but we'll spend 8 hours just creatively bouncing off each other and doing these crazy things. I'm like, okay, I never thought of that. Like, this energy is great. So we're just trying to hash out, 7 to 8 songs, and hopefully they'll be out sometime next year. But I'm excited. I mean, it's kind of a mix between indie pop and rock and contemporary R&B, just all this different stuff that, like, I don't know my genre. I can't pick one. I just love them all.
That's not a bad thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're doing right now. So we'll see where that goes, but I'm having fun doing it.
Well, that's exciting to hear. We'll of course be on the lookout for an extended EP from you. Last but not least, probably most importantly, where can they find you at on the web?
Oh my gosh, I am on every platform. This is probably annoying. Everyone says that, but yeah, every streaming platform, Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere you can hear your tunes. If you look me up, Natalie Dean official.com, I think, is my website. So yeah, I mean, that's me. My Instagram's _Natalie Dean if you wanted to go on Instagram, but
Excellent. Give Natalie Dean some love. Damaged Parts out now. Thank you so much for joining me, Natalie.
Thank you so much.
You have a lovely day.
You too. Bye.